He's racing Montoya. Well, he wins a race and Montoya finishes 7th again. Hey, Montoya's got 8 top 10s on the year, which will be 2 more than Kyle Busch. But Kyle Busch, for that race where he finished 9th, Kyle Busch won the race. And that's like a 50-point difference right there.
Kyle Busch will make the chase.
He will make the chase. And I
just don't think it's going to be as handily as...
Anybody who is concerned about Kyle Busch missing the chase is just trying to dramatize it. He's going to make it easily. Okay, Biffle.
He's in.
He's in, but he does not contend for the championship.
No, I agree.
Hamlin.
He's in. Doesn't contend.
Yeah, I have a hard time. From here on out, I'm going to have a hard time seeing anybody fall down. 6 is Ryan Newman.
Newman's going to be in. Very quiet, but Newman's in.
Yeah, he's got 8 top 10s on the year, no DNFs. So that's a big
that
thing.
stat line actually has DNFs. That's cool.
Yeah. Right now, Hamlin's has 1, Biffle has 2, Mark Martin has 3 DNFs, and Kyle Busch has 1. That's the thing. Even more so, Kyle Busch has 1 DNF. So, I mean, he might be going out there, and I would say today's a rare race for him, or yesterday. I don't think people are – we already passed that subject.
Yeah.
5th is Carl Edwards.
He'll be in.
But, I'm not convinced he's going to win a race this year, though.
He'll win a race.
We're hitting halfway in the year. Right now, most guys who are going to win a race this year have won one already.
I think that's he'll win a race.
He's
not going to win 8 or whatever he won last year.
I just saying, it's possible at this point. Kurt Busch.
He's going to be in.
Kurt Busch and Carl Edwards have the same amount of top 5s and top 10s. But Edwards has a DNF and Kurt Busch has a win.
That makes a big difference.
Yeah. Jimmy Johnson.
He'll be in.
He'll miss the chase. No, I'm just kidding. Of course he's going to make it. Actually, from here on out, I think we both agree that the top 3 are going to are easily. In fact, Stewart just keeps patting his lead every week. It's 84 over Gordon.
Though, sadly, that means nothing other than guaranteeing him a spot because if he doesn't win more races, he's going to get bumped anyway.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, it's not – if I'm a driver in the first, 26 races, you know what I think? I think if I'm the point leader, I can beat all these guys. That's a confidence booster right there. If Gordon's the main guy and I'm padding my lead on him, especially in Stewart's situation with a new team and all that, I'm like, guys, team, come here. We can take these guys. We can take Hendrick Motorsports. We can take Joe Gibbs Racing, and we can beat them. And that's a huge thing, especially for a young team and a new team like Stewart's.
So you only have 11.
Basically, I only have 11. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then, in that case.
Okay, so let's put it this way: of Montoya,
Kane,
Burton,
Rudiman,
Kane, and Rudiman, who makes it, or somebody lower?
It's not going to be anybody lower.
And this is the person that you would say doesn't deserve to make the chase, but they now
Yeah.
see this because of what you just said. That's why I'll say it again. I'll say it again to anyone that wants to hear it. I think it needs to be 10. It still needs to be 10. It needs to go back to 10.
I guess if I had to pick somebody, I'd pick Burton. That's the safest choice. Though between them all, Kane almost seems more likely to me. But I just think I don't trust Kane. I trust Burton more than I trust Kane. But still, Burton, that team just does not have any speed this year, and I have a hard time seeing them really make it if they can't beat anybody straight up. I mean, I think Kane has been outrunning them really. But all right, that was a lot of good. That was a lot of good NASCAR talk right there, sir. And now we're gonna switch. I think it's time to switch gears because we talk a lot about NASCAR, but we don't always approach other racing. And there's been some big Formula One news. Now it's changed a little bit because I know that the announcement has basically got what it was intended, but basically it got a reaction from Max Mosley, the F1 chief, and all that. But basically, let me go through the whole thing. Start up back a little bit more. Max Mosley, the guy who runs F1, Formula One, and then owns the rights to a certain extent and all that, wants basically to impose a cap on the amount of money a team can spend next year. Wants to be $60 million.
So like a salary cap.
Yeah, sort of. The thing about it is that I don't know exactly how much, but I'm pretty sure that an average F1 team spends a lot more than that.
Oh yeah.
I want to say like $125 million. And so nobody's going for this. And the teams have to agree with him and all that. And finally last week, 8 of the top teams in Formula One basically said, "Screw you. We're going to go off and make our own racing league, and I think it's glorious.
I had said to you when I first heard this, because you broke the news to me, I had said that it just brought back so many memories of, American open wheel racing in 1996. And look what it did. Look what it did to that. And we said this. Look what it did to that series. One could argue, have never recovered from that. Actually.
Oh, absolutely. They have not since it happened.
So and the thing is I don't mind Formula One, but I think we would agree in that I just have a hard time with some of the Formula One fans and drivers feeling like looking down on NASCAR and saying that NASCAR isn't real racing.
Well, there's a lot of arrogance.
Yes,
in that sport.
There's a lot of arrogance.
The arrogance comes as on the teams. Comes from the drivers, comes from the fans, and it comes from high up the guys, the Bernie Ecclestone and Max Mosley, these two guys that are running the show. And right now, for the most part, their arrogance about themselves and against each other is what's causing all this. And I say let it happen, because you know what? This is only good for NASCAR worldwide. Maybe NASCAR can become an international commodity at this rate, because if F1 runs off all their fans by, end up 2 series again, I think it's a fascinating, because it was fascinating when it happened to kart in the mid 90s when the IRL broke off. I think it's fascinating now.
Oops. Yep.
Oops.
As I take down the table.
Careful, my junior car's on here.
Yeah, I agree. I think that and didn't you just say right before taping that or I don't remember, I think you said something like they're gonna sue them, or your dad said, or somebody said that now it's just gonna get ugly from now on.
Yeah, the people, Mosley and them are basically suing the team, saying you can't leave, which I don't know how they can stop them. But I know right now as they've re-entered negotiations about this salary cap, I think if these teams walk, it's just gonna hurt the entire sport, bar none. This is not a time when anybody can really allow that to happen, and so I think in the end Mosley will back down, because I think the teams are more powerful. Because the one thing, very few organizations can get away with that. This organization is, the show. I mean, baseball will still be baseball even with or without the Major League Baseball. And if the Yankees and the Red Sox and a bunch of other teams leave Major League Baseball to form their own series, that series will probably prevail. And NASCAR's probably one of the few that can own with an iron fist. F1, I don't think can, because so many fans are fans of Ferrari and Renault. I think it's Renault or whatever how you pronounce the name, and Toyota. That's how fans are in F1. So, and it looks like I think Mosley will back down, and they will all be in one happy family next year. But I'm hopeful.
So I agree with you. It would be quite comical to see it collapse.
Yeah. Well, and again, I think it was big news. If it really does happen, it'll be huge news. It's hard to tell if this is actually a bluff or not.
Yeah. Oh no, I agree. 100%. It'll be very interesting to see. And I agree with you. I do think he'll back down, because he'll have to at some point realize that without these 8 teams, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
But
if he's as arrogant as I think he is, then his perception might be F1 is a show. You are not bigger than us, and to a certain extent, they are. You can't run the inmates, run the asylum, but they are, and you need them just as much as they need you.
Yep. So I guess time will tell. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Now, I seem to remember a few weeks ago when my dad hosted this or co-hosted with us, we were talking about Michael Vick, right? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Okay. And we were talking about the crime and should he be let back in and everything. And he mentioned that a really telling thing going on right now is Dante Stallworth's situation, which is, he was driving intoxicated and hit a man walking across the street early morning in Miami in March, I think it was, and killed the man, got arrested charged with DUI manslaughter. And the real question was, what is the NFL going to do about this? And, of course, like the day after we do a show, he comes out and he suspends Stallworth indefinitely. Now, another part of this that I find interesting, too, is that Stallworth got 30 days in jail. That's his sentence and a plea deal. So the question is it right? Is that the right thing to do?
Which part? The actual legal part?
Well, let's keep it sports oriented. So let's say suspended from the NFL for a year. I think we should keep the politics.
Was it